Hey there, gang. Yes, you've caught me. I've got an off-meta build equipped. See, I was trying something new. I really don't like running gen perks, okay? A lot of time they're necessary, and if there's anything, this match is going to show you that yes, gen perks are necessary, but I like running off-meta builds a lot, and I like putting together ones that, if anything, can work, right? Right? Hopefully. And this is kind of one I had in mind. In theory, if you aren't dealing with super ridiculous levels of gen pressure, the idea behind where this build comes together is Franklin's Demise counters syringes and styptics. You don't have to worry about survivors giving themselves endurance or getting that heal off with the perks that make it activate faster, right? You make them drop their med kits. They're not going to be using that in chase. So this effectively can remove a third health state. We also have genetic limits, which denies dead hard if you commit to a chase. And that's why I've been loving genetic limits on Clown. So running genetic limits and Franklin's Demise to counter both the syringes and the styptics and the dead hearts, it's basically the anti-third health state build when you run these two perks. Now, when it comes to Coup and Zanshin, these are just my favorite chase perks. You could probably supplement them with other choices. It's mostly the emphasis that comes from genetic limits and Franklin's together. But while this build has really good chase potential because you deny the third health states, Coup and Zanshin just are incorporated so well when it comes to using Clown's bottles even better. You're able to just put them where you need to so preemptively in everything and just get the maximum value lunges playing into that macro momentum. While you have all of that, you know what you don't have? You don't have Corrupt. We talk about this all the time. You don't have anything for mid-game pressure. You don't even have Jolt or Surge to deny lasting progress when you snowball. So what happens when you fall behind? A lot of times, it's game over. And that's literally what almost basically happened in this game. The only reason we didn't lose this game very, very clearly was because the survivor that we tunneled out first didn't have any anti-tunnel perks. But the chances of that happening in your matches are going to be unlikely and or possibly slim. We could have probably gone for, I think, someone who had the anti-tunnel perks, and then that was it too. If they had Shoulder the Burden, even if the survivor we tunneled didn't have Off the Record or Decisive Strike or Dead Hard, we still would have lost the game. So we were very lucky and thankful that everything came together. But what the emphasis, again, I want to put on most is the gen speeds. This is close to base kit levels of gen speeds when you are playing a killer like Clown, who lacks in the macro and doesn't have any gen perks to support himself. Oh, I love Flaw, y'all. Alright, here we go. What map is this ARP I just saw? Okay. It's extremely unlikely anyone's on this side of the map, because survivors are scripted to spawn like near generators, and we spawned way too close to the other two generators on this side. So that's my clue to just rotate right off the start of the match. Oh, I don't really like... Remember, we don't have... we can chase the Obsession with this build if we really need to. Oh, I suck. I royally suck, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. Why? Come on, man. You're fucking kidding me. Shit like that could cost me 2 gens. Ay, dude. Great. Well, I guess I'll look for someone else. That gen's probably, I could go back over there, but she's injured, right? Holy fuck, there's gen number 1. This is almost gen number 2. Remember, I'm not even kidding. That shit literally cost you 2 gens. One mistake on Clown, half of your objectives already gone. Crazy stuff, dude. Watch, I bet that gen pops before we get back there. It's such a joke of a game nowadays, dude. And I didn't get my yellow. By the way, all she has to do is press forward on a fucking controller. I'm just gonna go tunnel, dude. This game's already over, so I might as well just play like a bot. Damn.
At this point, I don't even really care, dude. Game is literally over, so no point taking the rest of it seriously in that regard. Do you think she's going to... A DS. All it takes is a DS or a dead heart, and it's just fucking wash, dude. Another survivor has another gen, probably at about 50% progress on the other side of the map, minimum, putting us at 2.5 gens. No point even rotating up there. I know someone who came from this gen is still pressured on the side of the map. There she is. I'm just gonna hard tunnel since I know she doesn't have anything else. What'd I tell you? Remember when I said 50% one survivor? There she was, finished the gen. The game is so fucking predictable nowadays, dude. Like, y'all see why I tunnel, right? It's literally like everything. Thankfully, these survivors don't have any tunnel perks. I swear, dude. I didn't even have a chance to play into Coup yet, simply because of the fucking fact that, like... oh man, how quickly the gens just popped all at once. There we go. Now, we might actually pull it back because we did pull off a successful hard tunnel, but that's like our only, like, shot is because of that. But even then, I expect us to hit one gen in the next 20-30 seconds minimum. Or maximum, yeah. I was about to say maximum, actually. Yeah, no, see what I tell you. This game is just a bunch of survivors hitting good skill checks and shit, and then just, like, not even interacting with the killer. Ain't no way she failed a fucking good skill check. I might actually go back this way. Hold on. Sweet. We're gonna wait till she hits second. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hook her now. Alright, now I'm gonna assume she has something. I'm just gonna fucking wait. Alright, she hit second. Perfect. What a comeback. Yeah, just fucking barely. How much progress you think that gen had? Let's go find out. So, it was close to 3 pistons. Basically, it was almost 75% progress. Holy fucking shit, dude. DVD in a nutshell, man. We won, though. Woo! God damn. Only just fucking barely. Only because the tunnel out didn't have any tunnel perks. Literally, that's the only reason, by the way. Only reason is because it didn't have any tunnel. There was no just chase someone else and get pressure. Like, there was no. God damn, dude. I'll at least give him a Chichibo thing. See. Oh, that's interesting. Nothing that shows what they look like. They're not worth any more time than that.
So again, just to give y'all a little bit of a, you could say a numerical reminder, we were at 1 generator remaining 4 minutes and 15 seconds into the match. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Now look at these survivors builds. There is not a single perk sans resilience, and we were not putting injury pressure onto Sable for her to get value from that. The only person who had any type of gen perk, like specific gen perk, that wasn't tangential, like resilience, was Meg with hyperfocus. She didn't have a toolbox. She didn't have a BNP. There were no teammates with commodiouses. There was no proof thyself. There was 1 gen remaining 4 minutes and 15 seconds into the match. You go back and watch the beginning. It took me like 30 seconds to cross the map. All I did was get relatively close to the 1 generator that was slightly outside of my spawn radius in case it spawned a survivor near me on my side of the map so I could get a faster chase. And once I saw that wasn't there, I started heading immediately to where I knew they would be, which would be, on that, like either by the shack or by the, can't talk correctly, by the hill. And the problem was that by the time we got there, they were already almost done with the generator. Like we were, I think, about 35 seconds or so, a little bit under 40 seconds starting our first chase. And I got the first health state quick. But the problem was because I made 1 slight mistake in pink bottle placement. I had everything else perfectly, but 1 mistake in pink bottle placement meant that I couldn't get the conversion. I couldn't slow her down on the rotation. She beat me to the pallet. And this meant she could chain to the building, and this meant from there she could chain to the bus. Like, that basically was putting me in a position where I lose 2 gens first chase. And I mentioned that. I said, okay, this 1 mistake, 2 gens first chase, and we're likely at an extreme uphill battle. Because we don't have any mid-game slowdown. We're relying entirely on our ability to get fast chases following that. And when you look at our build specifically, too, our perks that we were intending to counter their perks, the syringes, the styptics, the dead hearts, they don't have dead hard, and they don't have styptics, they don't have syringes. So we're playing with 2 perks. We're playing with Coup and Zanshin, essentially. And while that is good, when the generators are that quick, 4 minutes and 15 seconds to pop 4 gens, you're not spreading hooks. You can't just afford to chase other survivors. I could tell by the pacing of what was going on because I was, in my mind, keeping some type of proactive recap of where I had seen people, what they were doing. I knew that after we got our first hook onto Feng, we were probably down 2 gens. And when I kind of saw who was rotating for where when it came to the unhook and things like that, I knew there was 1 person I hadn't seen, so they almost assuredly were on another generator and getting more progress. So we weren't just at 3 gens, we were minimum 2.5. And then by the time we hooked her at a second time, the gen counter showed 2. And it was literally right around the time that we had, I believe, killed her, we were just about to hit 1, even though the gen counter may not have shown it. Like, they were doing the generators at a level of efficiency that was beyond what I've seen survivors with commodiouses. Commodiouses and BNPs, and I don't think this team was hacking. I think that it was literally just what happens when you have survivors that notice it on generators, and I genuinely would be surprised either if they were on voice comms. 3 Prestige 100s with how they played? Yeah, I would be willing to believe it. Maybe it's 3 Prestige 100 Swift and it's a solo queue Meg, although I'd be willing to believe that Meg was grouped with them with kind of how she played. She was very efficient on generators, so maybe that was communicated. But the only reason, again, just to recap how we won this game, the only reason we won is because we tunneled out somebody who doesn't have anti-tunnel perks. I know that on hindsight because I mentioned it earlier before at the beginning of the video that we could have gone for the other survivors who may have had it, and the only one who did was Sable. But yes, quite literally, all it took was a single use of off the record, with me not being in close proximity to break it early when it's still like basic BT, decisive strike, dead hard, shoulder the burden. A single usage of those means that all generators are completed by the time I kill Feng. It means that I'm camping my second kill during the post-generator phase, the end game. It means that at best, I am not walking away with more than 2 kills. At best, I am not walking away. For me to walk away with more than 2 kills means survivors throw. Because literally all it takes for me to be securing my second kill when I'm securing it in that endgame phase, just go out the gate. You just literally leave your friend to die for the best possible consistent outcome. and that's it. Now, if you want, right, especially if the team had more in-game perks, if they were especially more coordinated, if the gates were positioned well for it, they could coordinate an unhook safe. When you have two teammates, one who can body block for the other, you throw in basic BT. The possibility of things like Hope, etc. Like, yeah, Clown can't beat that, especially when he's throwing out bottles preemptively to slow the advance. This is going to reduce his bottle economy on the following chase. The recovery from the first hit really sets him behind when it comes to catching up, because his yellow does have that delay when it comes to getting the yellow for that chase following the unhook. And also the pink, they're going to have all that distance. The base kit BT means that even if you wanted to try to go around the body blockers and slow them, they're likely going to have so much distance from that 10% haste that they'll be much closer to the gate in a way that possibly you can't contest. If you didn't get a body or hit onto one of the body blockers to where they're injured, you don't have a counter target. You can't go have someone else that you can take out. It's all about ensuring basically that you do everything super well, even when they only have half their team left. And yeah, it's you walk away at best with 2K. Sure, maybe they throw, right, you down the body blocker and the person base kit BT doesn't get out, right? And wow, you win the game, great. But it's not a satisfying win, and it's one that literally, like I said, could be avoided if they just left. So I think that just about wraps everything up. Like I said, though, before, or I guess we go into that, this is what happens when you don't bring gen perks. If you don't bring gen perks as Clown, and you go against a team like this is what your games are going to look like. I have 4,000, 5,000 hours on Clown alone. Yo, I made one mistake in my early chase. One mistake. And I lost literally 2 gens because of that. Gens almost done in 5 minutes. Like, how the hell was I supposed to win this not tunneling? But that just about wraps everything up, gang. I'll have more videos like this if you're new to the channel coming up in the future. If you're interested in learning how to play Clown more in depth like I do, I'll have a very detailed Clown guide that'll be sure to link in the description. Matches like these are streamed live on my Twitch stream during the weekdays. I typically stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll have a link to my stream in the description as well. And lastly, if you typically aren't someone who does, I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel. For those that don't know, it helps out a lot. It gives my videos more reach with the algorithm, which means people come to my videos, and that means they learn, because I do this to teach people, believe it or not. So do all that if you enjoy the content. I try to get out 4 to 5 videos a week, 5 if I really, really can. That's what I always shoot for. But yeah, other than that, I'll catch y'all next time, and I'll see y'all next time. Later, gang.